District Court is now in session. Judge Darren is presiding.
Thank you. Please be seated. This record is being made in the state of Iowa versus Darren Mitchell Meade, Sac County criminal case FECR012634. Present for the proceeding is the Sac County Attorney Benjamin Smith. Also here in the courtroom is Attorney Glenn Downey, who is the attorney of record for the defendant, Mr. Meade. Mr. Meade is not personally present at this time. In that regard, Mr. Downey, do you have any record you wish to offer concerning your clients not being personally present here in the courtroom?
Mr. Meade has been apprised of all the ongoing discussions that I've had with County Attorney Smith today, and was just informed of what this hearing would be about, so he has been made aware of what's going on today.
All right, Mr. Meade has the right to be personally present. Given the nature of the state's pending motion to dismiss, I am willing to proceed without his being personally present. Mr. Downey, would it be accurate for me to conclude that your client has voluntarily and intelligently waived his right to be personally present today?
That would be correct, Your Honor.
All right, very well. The court was scheduled to hear all of the pending motions in this case this morning. During the course of the morning, counsel have conferred. There is one very important motion that was filed by the Sac County attorney earlier today. That is the conditional motion to dismiss. Mr. Smith, it is my understanding that the state now requests that all pending criminal charges against Mr. Meade in this case, which include both a felony and several aggravated misdemeanors, that all of those charges now be dismissed with prejudice, which would prohibit those charges from being refiled or the subject of any future prosecutions against Mr. Meade. Is my understanding of your pending motion correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. The state would amend or orally amend its motion from conditional to motion to dismiss with prejudice on accounts previously stated for the purposes of securing a grant of immunity at some point in the future for defendant's testimony in another matter would be the basis, I guess, and ask that the court find that to be in the interest of justice and judicial economy, I think, is the standard.
All right, Mr. Smith, I don't mean to belabor the point, but Rule of Criminal Procedure 2.33 would normally provide that any dismissal of the felony and aggravated misdemeanors that are now pending against Mr. Meade, that the state's dismissal at this point would not prohibit a future prosecution on those same charges. What I've heard you say to me and how I construe your motion is that you want all of those charges dismissed with prejudice, which would prohibit their future prosecution. Again, not to belabor the point, but I want to make absolutely certain that I understand your request. Am I understanding that correctly?
You are, Your Honor. That would be, I guess, contrary to the language of 2.33, and it is with prejudice, all the charges.
All right, and these dismissals would not be conditional in any fashion. They would not prohibit you from seeking immunity for Mr. Meade on any future case, but as far as any conditions imposed on the dismissal, the court would not be imposing any conditions. Is that what you're asking the court?
That's what I'm asking the court to do, Your Honor, yes.
Mr. Downey, do you have any position on this motion on behalf of your client?
I do not, Your Honor. We are obviously understanding of what the state's position is now, and understanding also, as the court outlined, that this is a complete dismissal with prejudice and is not conditioned upon some future proceeding regarding my client.
All right, Mr. Smith, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
I did review the conditional motion to dismiss, and now that I've read that in its entirety and listened to the record here in the courtroom, the court concludes that the requested dismissal would be in the interest of justice for the reasons that are set forth in Mr. Smith's motion. Therefore, I do now grant the state's motion to dismiss, which I will document with a written order. That dismissal will be with prejudice of all pending charges in this criminal case. Mr. Smith, if I enter that order, is that acceptable to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Downey?
Yes, Your Honor.
The dismissal of this case will then render the other pending motions in this case moot, and my order will so indicate. Mr. Smith, anything else?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mr. Downey?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, counsel.
Thank you, sir.